My nephew yelled, "Dad says people like you don't earn nice things," then smashed my father's watch while his parents laughed. 2 years of funding their entire life ended that night. Next came eviction notices, restraining orders, and police at their door. Hey, Reddit! I thought helping family would bring us closer. Instead, it blew up in my face with lies, threats, and cops at the door. Before all that chaos, let me start from the beginning. My name's Lucas Hale. I'm 38, live just outside of Flagstaff with my daughter, Rowan. I run a small auto shop and still turn wrenches. Nothing fancy, but it pays the bills and I like the quiet. Her mom's been out of the picture for years. That part of my life went bad a long time ago, but I've managed to keep things steady since, or at least I thought I had. My younger brother, Marcus, is 34. He married this woman, Sienna, 5 years ago. They've got 2 kids, Caleb, who's 10, and Emery, who's 7. When Marcus lost his job 2 years back, I stepped in to help. Rent, car loan, kids' school tuition, I covered it all. I was the listed pair on their school account. Our district runs kindergarten through 6th grade on one campus, so all 3 kids are at the same school. Rowan and Caleb even share lunch and recess. Last month was my birthday. I didn't want a big thing, just dinner with family at a nice place downtown. I booked it 3 weeks early. Outdoor seating, good food, quiet enough so Rowan wouldn't feel overwhelmed. She's 11, shy, and birthdays have always been our thing. Marcus and Sienna showed up late. They always do. Marcus barely said hello before sitting down. Sienna smiled like we were best friends, even though she rarely calls unless she needs something. Caleb ran straight to the tables, loud as ever, while Emery trailed behind with a tablet in her hand. Rowan sat beside me, excited about the creme brulee she'd been talking about for days. My mom was already there, making small talk about the weather. It felt normal for maybe 5 minutes. Then Caleb started. He climbed on chairs, grabbed bread rolls with his hands, talked over everyone. Marcus told him twice to settle down but didn't mean it. Sienna laughed like it was cute. Nobody else said anything. That's how it always goes with them. Caleb gets away with everything because calling him out means drama. And my mom avoids drama like it's fire. I kept my head down. It was my birthday. I just wanted peace. Dinner came and went without too much chaos. I thought maybe we were in the clear. Then the waitress brought out the cake. A single slice with a candle. I didn't even ask for it. The restaurant does it automatically. People clapped. I smiled. Said thanks. That's when it happened. My dad passed away 6 years ago. Left me his old watch. Nothing expensive, but real sentimental. Worn leather band. Small crack on the glass. I kept it clean and working because it was one of the few things of his I had left. While I was leaning forward to blow out the candle, Caleb slipped behind me. Before anyone could say a word, he yanked the watch right off my wrist. Hey, I started, but he was already holding it up like a trophy. Dad says people like you don't earn nice things, he yelled loud enough for the whole patio to hear. And then he threw it over the railing. It hit the concrete walkway below with this sound I'll never forget. Metal on stone, sharp and final. The strap snapped. The back popped off. The glass shattered completely. For a second, nobody moved. Then Sienna laughed. Like full-on laughed. Tears in her eyes kind of laugh. Marcus smirked but didn't say a word. Rowan froze in her seat, eyes wide. My mom muttered something about boys being boys. I didn't yell, didn't make a scene. I just stood up, grabbed my jacket, and told Rowan we were leaving. Paid the bill on the way out. Nobody stopped us. Nobody apologized. I picked up what was left of the watch on the sidewalk. The strap was in 2 pieces. The back plate was bent. It was done for. Rowan didn't say anything in the car. She just held the box with the leftover cake on her lap. I think she knew I didn't want to talk right then. When we got home, I put the watch in a drawer, sat there for a minute, staring at the wall. 2 years, rent, car payments, tuition, thousands of dollars. All the times I said yes when I should have said no. And this is what I get. I opened my laptop, logged into the bank account, cancelled every single payment tied to Marcus Hale. Rent gone, car loan gone, school tuition gone. Somewhere along the line, the car auto-pay had failed 2 months back. I hadn't caught it until now. Not a word to anybody. That night, I didn't answer the phone. Marcus called twice. Sienna texted some fake sweet thanks for dinner message like nothing happened. They had no idea what was coming. By morning, the first text came in from Marcus. No good morning. No hey, what happened last night? Just car's gone. Did you cancel something? I didn't reply. Looks like the loan had already hit active repo status. Canceling my autopay just meant the repo truck came the next morning. I let it sit. He called twice, straight to voicemail. By noon, Sienna texted me. Fake sweet like always. Hey, Lucas. Did you forget the car loan this month? No biggie, just wondering. I didn't answer her either. By dinner time, Mom called. She didn't even say hi before asking. Lucas, did you change something with Marcus' car payment? Yeah, I said. I stopped paying it. I didn't know you were paying his bills, she said. Nobody did, I said. She paused like she didn't know what to say next. Oh, okay. Well, Marcus said it got repossessed this morning. Yep, I said. Another pause. Then maybe you should have given him a heads up first. I gave him 2 years of heads up, I said. She sighed the way moms do when they want you to feel guilty but don't want to say it out loud. By the next day, Marcus switched from confused to mad. Are you kidding me? You couldn't even warn us? How are we supposed to get to work now? Work? He hadn't had a job in 2 years. At least not that I knew of. Maybe he'd picked up shift somewhere and just hadn't said. He called 3 more times before noon. Left a voicemail saying, we can talk this out like adults if you just pick up. I didn't. Later that night, Sienna sent a longer text. Lucas, look, I don't know what your problem is, but punishing the kids isn't fair. They didn't do anything. Didn't do anything. I pictured Caleb on that patio holding my dad's watch like a trophy. Another text followed. Also, rent's due this week, too. Can you at least send that so we don't fall behind? Just until Marcus finds steady work. I typed out a response, then deleted it. Better to let the silence do the talking. The next day, there was a knock on my door. I looked through the window. Marcus. I opened it just enough to step outside. What? He looked rough. Hoodie, unshaven. Circles under his eyes. You couldn't give me 1 month. Just 1. I kept my voice calm. I gave you 2 years. He shifted like he didn't know what to say next. Sienna's freaking out. Rent's due. Kids need school stuff. You can't just cut us off without warning. I just did, I said. His jaw clenched. So, this is about the watch. That's what this is. It's about everything, I said. He laughed without humor. You've always thought you were better than me. I shook my head. No, I just stopped letting you use me. Before he could answer, I closed the door. He stood there another minute, then left without knocking again. That night, Rowan sat at the table doing homework. She looked up once and asked, "Are Uncle Marcus and Aunt Sienna mad at us?" "They're mad at me, not you," I said. She hesitated, then said, "Caleb told some kids at school that we're broke now. That you can't pay for stuff anymore." I stopped what I was doing. When did he say that? Today at recess. She looked down at her paper. He said his mom told him you're selfish. I clenched my jaw, but kept my voice even. Don't listen to him. She nodded but didn't look convinced. 2 days later, Marcus sent a picture of Caleb holding a piece of paper with SORY written in blue crayon. He feels bad about the watch. Can we put this behind us? No mention of Sienna laughing. No mention of Caleb yelling in front of the whole patio. I didn't answer. By the weekend, Marcus sent another text. Landlord says rent's late. You know we can't cover this place without your help. You really going to let your niece and nephew get kicked out? Still no apology, just guilt. That same night, Sienna posted on Facebook, some people love to act generous until times get tough. Then they show their true colors, but people started asking questions in the comments. Sienna ignored them. More missed calls, more be a family texts, more vague booking. I saved everything. Monday morning, Rowan didn't want to go to school. She said she had a stomachache, but she looked fine. I asked her what was really wrong. And after a little pushing, she said Caleb shoved her backpack off the bench at lunch and called her a crybaby when she told him to stop. I drove her anyway, but my hands were tight on the wheel the whole way. By lunchtime, I was getting texts from Marcus again. Lucas, why'd you tell Rowan to be rude to Caleb at school? He says she cursed at him. That's not okay. I ignored it. That evening, Rowan told me Caleb had kicked her soccer ball over the fence after school and laughed when she had to ask the teacher to get it. I sent one text to Marcus. Me, tell your kid to leave Rowan alone. No answer. The next day, there was a long scratch down the side of my truck. Not a random ding. This went from the front headlight to the tailgate in one slow line. A few feet below it, someone had written the word JERK in the dust on my rear bumper. I stood there staring at it for a full minute before getting my phone out. I texted Marcus. Truck scratched. Know anything about it? 5 minutes later. Nope. Another text right after. Maybe don't blame us for everything going wrong in your life. That night, Rowan said she saw Caleb near the parking lot after school laughing with 2 of his friends. I didn't say anything to her about the truck. No point. The next day, I called the restaurant from my birthday dinner. Asked if they had cameras covering the patio. The manager said yes and offered to send me the footage once he got permission from the owner. When it came through, there it was on screen. Caleb grabbing my watch, yelling, throwing it over the railing. Sienna doubled over laughing. Marcus sitting there like nothing happened. I saved the video. By Thursday, another text from Marcus. Lucas, rent's late now. Landlord is calling. What are you doing? You know we can't afford this place without you. Not my problem. No response. That same night, Sienna posted on Facebook again. Family should be there when times get tough. Sad when they turn their back on kids. She turned off the comments after 3 people asked why she couldn't get a job. The next morning, Rowan told me Caleb called her garbage girl in front of the other kids. Said his mom told him I'm too cheap to pay for anything now. That was it. I drove to the school, asked to speak to the principal, told him what was going on, asked if Caleb could stay away from Rowan during school hours. The principal said they'd keep an eye on things. Not a formal no contact. Saturday morning, I walked outside and found the driver's side window of my truck cracked in a star shape, like someone had hit it with a key or rock. I called Mom, told her everything, the bullying, the scratches, the window, the video. She just sighed and said, maybe I should talk to Marcus before things get worse. Things are already worse, I said, and hung up. That afternoon, I called the non-emergency police line, gave them the video of the birthday dinner, photos of the truck, the cracked window, told them who I thought did it. The manager also hinted something else went missing that night. They said an officer would call me back after reviewing everything. 2 hours later, Marcus texted again. Lucas, Sienna says you're trying to ruin our lives. You've made your point. Enough is enough. I didn't answer because this wasn't even close to enough. The officer called Monday afternoon, asked me to bring the video, photos, and everything I had. I drove down there after work. 2 officers watched the birthday footage twice on the small monitor. Property damage, harassment, possible child involvement, one officer said while scribbling in his notebook. We'll open a case. You believe the same people vandalized your truck? Yes, I said. Them or the kid they're letting run wild? He nodded. Anyone else have a reason? No, just them. Before I left, the second officer said, if there's more threats, vandalism, anything, save it all. Messages, voicemails, video. The more you have, the cleaner the case. I nodded and walked out, holding the USB drive like it weighed 100 pounds. That evening, Marcus sent the first text. Lucas, Mom said you went to the cops. What the hell? I didn't reply. 5 minutes later. This is family business. You don't drag cops into it. I set the phone face down on the counter. More posts, more sideways swipes, more silence when people asked for facts. I screenshotted and moved on. Next day at noon, the officer called back. The restaurant had filed its own report. Turns out Caleb didn't just toss my watch. He walked out with a server's tablet after we left. The camera caught him shoving it under his hoodie. The officer said it looked practiced. Your brother returned it the next morning, the officer said. Claimed the kid found it outside. The police didn't buy it. Now, there were 2 incidents linked to the same family. My truck and the tablet theft that afternoon, Rowan told me Caleb shoved her again at recess. This time, he knocked her notebook out of her hands. She said he laughed when the pages went flying in the dirt. I called Marcus right then. He didn't answer. I texted him instead. Keep your kid away from Rowan or I call the cops tonight. 10 minutes later, he texted back. He's just a kid. Don't overreact. Overreact. I drove straight to the school, walked into the front office, and asked for the principal, told him Caleb was harassing my daughter repeatedly, shoving her, mocking her, spreading garbage about me. I wanted it on record. The principal looked surprised, but nodded. Said they'd speak to Caleb and his parents. I said, do that, and if he lays a hand on her again, it won't be you dealing with it. Thursday morning, the officer called again, said they were pulling Marcus and Sienna in for formal statements about the tablet and the vandalism. Asked if I wanted to press charges if the evidence lined up. Yes, I said. I hung up and started printing everything. Texts, screenshots, photos of the truck, stills from the video. That afternoon, Sienna texted me for the first time in days. Lucas, whatever the cops told you, this is ridiculous. You're making a big deal out of nothing. Just pay the rent until Marcus finds work and we can all move on. I didn't answer. 20 minutes later. You've always hated me. This is personal, isn't it? I shut my phone off. Friday morning, the officer called back again. The case was moving forward. Marcus and Sienna were scheduled to come in the following week for questioning. The combination of the restaurant footage, the tablet theft, my truck photos, Rowan being shoved, and Sienna's attempt to get pickup details meant the police were officially taking it seriously, including a possible custodial interference count. When I got home, Mom was standing on my porch. Maybe stop this before it gets worse, she said as soon as I got out of the truck. Marcus says the kids are upset. Says you're trying to ruin their lives. They shoved Rowan at school, I said. You tell me again who's ruining lives. She looked down at her shoes, didn't answer. Saturday night, Marcus left a voicemail. His voice wasn't shaking. It was tight with anger. You think you're better than me? Fine, but you drag cops into this, you'll regret it. I saved the voicemail. Then I sent it straight to the officer handling my case. Because this wasn't just about a watch anymore. Wasn't about rent or car payments or even the truck. They went after my daughter, and that ended all discussion. Through Monday 8:12 a.m., the school front office called while I was tightening a belt on a customer's truck. "Mr. Hale, did you phone us earlier about Rowan's schedule and pickup routine?" "No," I said. "Why?" "We had a caller saying they were you." "We didn't give anything out. We record those calls." "Do you want the audio?" "Yes, email it." I washed the grease off, sat in the break room with my phone on speaker, and hit play. Fake friendly voice, soft, trying to sound helpful. The little breath at the end of sentences gave it away. It was Sienna. Whether she meant to snatch Rowan for a scare or just stalk our routine, I didn't care. I forwarded the file to the detective with one line. "Voice is Sienna impersonating me to get pickup times." He called 10 minutes later. "Bring the recording in and file an addendum. We'll treat it as attempted impersonation with potential custodial interference. Also, I recommend you apply for a temporary restraining order today." I closed the shop an hour early, drove straight to the station, signed the supplemental report, handed over the audio and my notes. The detective printed out a list of steps for the TRO, circled the court address, and told me where to park. The courthouse clerk slid a packet across the counter. I filled in names, dates, the birthday video, the truck photos, Rowan being shoved, and now the phone call. The judge saw me same day. He read quietly, asked 3 questions, signed, and handed the packet to a deputy. "Orders active upon service," the deputy said. "No contact, no social media, no third-party messages. 200 feet from you, Rowan, your home and her school." I drove to the school, gave the office a copy. The principal made 2 sets, one for the front desk, one for the counselor. He added a note to Rowan's file. "Only Lucas Hale or the listed after-school program may pick her up." I added 2 backup names from the shop just in case. Darren and Shauna, people who actually answer their phones. At 5:41 p.m., the deputy called. "Order served on Sienna Saul." She answered the door. Says she understands the terms. At 6:03 p.m., Marcus texted a photo of the paperwork in Sienna's hand. "Lucas, you did this to my family." "Me?" "She tried to get my daughter's schedule. Stay away from us." No reply. After dinner, I installed a new camera on the porch and another pointing at the driveway. Sticky night air, bugs tapping the light, screws biting into wood. I set alerts to people only, clipped the sign straighter, and tested the feed from my phone. Clear picture to the street. At 8:47 p.m., a grey SUV idled at the corner with parking lights on. It sat there 3 minutes, then rolled away. I zoomed, got most of the plate, wrote it down, sent it to the detective. He said he'd check it against their address. Tuesday drop-off. I clocked every car like a goalie. Half a block down, a silver sedan sat with the engine running. Woman in large sunglasses holding her phone up. I took a photo, called 911, gave the license, and the restraining order number. 2 patrol cars rolled in quiet. By the time I looked back, the sedan had pulled forward to the crosswalk. An officer stood by her window with the other behind the car. "Sienna." She didn't look at me. The officer checked her ID, wrote something on a clipboard, and pointed away from the campus. She turned the wheel hard and left without drama. The officer walked over. "She's been warned." He said, "We've documented it as a potential violation and a potential attempted custodial interference incident. If she shows again, call immediately." At lunch, the school called again. Someone new had tried to sign in as aunt. Wrong name, wrong number. The front desk shut it down fast. They flagged Rowan's profile with a bright red banner and asked if I wanted a password on pickups. I gave them one. For random words. I printed it out and put it in my wallet. At 3:22 p.m., my camera caught a figure walking up my driveway in a hood and flat brim hat. He got within 5 feet of the truck, saw the lens move, and ducked back toward the street. I saved the clip, pulled a still, sent both to the detective with a timestamp. At 4:06 p.m., Marcus texted a photo of a paper taped to their door. Pay or quit in big letters. Lucas, eviction notice. Kids are crying. This is on you. It's on your choices, Marcus. You'll pay for this. Saved. At 5:30 p.m., I met the detective in the lobby. He'd pulled the grey subs plate from the night before, registered to Sienna's sister. He added the porch clip to my file, logged Marcus' text as a threat, and asked if I wanted to include him in the order. Not yet, I said. Document everything, he nodded. We are. For what it's worth, the restaurant footage got us a confession on the tablet. He found it, turned into it, and brought it back. That helps. On the way home, I bought motion lights, more screws, and a window sensor for Rowan's room. Took an hour to set it all up. I showed Rowan the app. If anything beeps at night, you get me first. Don't open the door. Don't look out the window. She nodded. Okay. At 7:12 p.m., my mom called. Sienna says you had her pulled over at the school. She violated a court order, I said. Mom went quiet. Marcus says they're losing their place. They had 2 years with my help. I'm done. I don't like any of this, she said. Me neither. At 9:18 p.m., someone rang my doorbell twice and then pounded like they owned the wood. The porch camera lit up. Marcus's face plain as day. I hit record on my phone and opened the door just enough to block the hinge. Back up, I said. We need to talk, he said. His eyes were red. Not from anything but from not sleeping or crying or both. You can't do this to us. You've been doing it to us for years, I said. You put your kid on mine. Your wife tried to get her schedule. You're done here. She was scared. He snapped. Cops? Court? Over what? A scratch and a joke. That joke was my father's watch, I said. The scratch was my truck. The shove was my child. Back up. He leaned on the frame like he might push. I held his stare. He blinked first. I didn't touch your girl, he said. Sienna told Caleb to. Look, it got messy. We can fix this. You used to help. Those days are over. He dropped his hands from the frame, stepped off the mat, and pointed at the camera. You recording this? Yes. He laughed once, a dry little sound, and walked off the porch. I called non-emergency and gave them the time, the clip, and what he said. They logged it and told me to call 911 if he came back. At 10:26 p.m., the detective texted, Judge approved an extension hearing in 2 weeks. Keep logging everything. If she shows near the school again, that's a charge. I set the phone face down and listened to the new motion lights click off one by one. The house felt tight, but steady. The app showed all green sensors. Porch camera idle. Driveway clear. They wanted me scared. I wasn't. I was busy. The deputy's voicemail hit at 9:02 a.m. Statements for Marcus and Sienna set for Thursday. Impersonation audio logged. Keep your cameras on, he said. We're building the file. By noon, the landlord taped another notice on their door. Darren texted me a photo. 5 days to pay or vacate. At 1, the private school emailed about account compliance. Marcus rolled up at the shop at 2:30. I met him outside the base so my guys could keep working. He had the pay or quit notice folded in his fist. You win, he said. Happy? Turn the engine off, I said. And back up. He clicked the key, stepped once. The letter shook. Eviction process starts next week. School locked our portal. They're pulling the kids until we catch up. Is that what you wanted? I wanted you to act right. You could have warned me. Instead, you turned this into court dates and cops. You turned it when your kid ripped a watch off my wrist and your wife tried to get my daughter's schedule. He stepped closer. Darren stood in the doorway, phone ready. Marcus lowered his voice. Sienna's upset. She just wanted you to feel what it's like when someone takes something from you. Thanks for confirming, I said. Now, hear me. Keep Sienna and Caleb away from Rowan. Stay off my porch. Don't call the school. Don't send cousins. Don't run messages through Mom. Stop or I add you to the order. He smirked. You don't have an order on me yet. He flicked the letter at my chest. I didn't take it. It bounced and fell. You'll throw family away over a watch and a late bill. That watch was Dad's. Those late bills were 2 years of my money. Pick up your paper. He left it. Tell your girl to stop telling teachers lies about Caleb. I took one step. Don't say her name again. Smile for the camera, Darren said. Marcus eyed the phone then me. He took 2 slow steps back, turned and got in the car. This ends when you stop, he said through the window. No, I said. It ends when you do. He drove off. At 4, the detective called. Quick update. Restaurant kid admitted the tablet. We're pulling Sienna's phone records on the impersonation and logging your porch clip with the SUV plate for your truck. We're trying for prints near the gas cap. Keep saving everything. Pick up next morning. I parked in front of the office doors. Rowan came out with the counselor. The counselor read me the pickup password. We matched it. As we crossed, Marcus' car rolled past the crosswalk. He stared straight ahead. He circled the block but didn't stop. Back home, I saw a tear at the mail slot like someone had pried it. Envelopes scattered on the rug instead of stacked. Nothing missing. I still photographed everything and slid the prints into the folder. At 7:38 p.m., camera pinged. A figure came down the sidewalk. Hood up. He stopped at the curb, looked at the lens, and pulled the hood back. Marcus. He held his palms out like he was harmless. I opened the door with the chain on. Leave, I said. Sienna's court date is set, he said. They're saying impersonation, harassment, property stuff. We can't do this. The kids cry every night. Stop dragging them through it. You did this. He said, you and your pride. My pride didn't key my truck or shove a 6th grader. She's sorry about the call. She's sorry she got caught, I said. Plain ask. Then help with rent and tuition for 2 months. We move somewhere cheaper. I'll get day work. We get off your back. Clean slate. No, I said. I'm done. You really want me to leave with nothing after everything I've done for you? You mean the years I paid your bills? He took one step up. The chain clicked. I put my hand on the frame. You've got 5 seconds, I said. Then I'm dialing. He didn't move. 5, Lucas. 4. You won't. 3, he stepped back. You're not family anymore. 2, he turned, hopped off the step, and walked to the sidewalk. He stopped, looked back, and said, you'll regret this. Then he kept moving. I called non-emergency and logged it. The dispatcher said an officer would swing by. 10 minutes later, a cruiser rolled slow, spotlit the sidewalk, and the officer took a copy of the clip. He said they could issue a trespass warning next time. I emailed the clip to the detective, too, and printed a log for the folder, dated it. After he left, the porch light buzzed and the night went quiet again. The detective texted at 9:54 p.m. Lab pulled partial prints near your gas cap. We'll know more soon. Keep tight. I locked the door, checked the sensors, and watched the camera feed settle back to still. By the end of the week, the detective called before sunrise. Forensics said the partials from my truck's gas cap were consistent with Sienna. They'd verify once they had fresh prints. That was enough for probable cause. Between the impersonation call, the restaurant footage, the tablet admission, and destruction of property, the file was thick. A judge signed the warrant before close of business. At 9:14 a.m., a deputy knocked with the signed paperwork. Charges listed criminal damage and attempted impersonation tied to a minor school. The detective said they were reviewing custodial interference. He asked if I wanted to be informed when they picked her up. I said yes. By 11 o'clock, a text from Darren at the shop. Cops just left Marcus' place. Took Sienna. Quiet. Kids stayed inside. Half an hour later, Marcus blew up my phone. 5 calls, 3 voicemails, all ignored. Then one text, "You proud of yourself?" I saved it. At 2, the school counselor called per the detective's notice to the district. The front office had been told about the arrest and would keep extra eyes on Rowan at dismissal in case anyone tried something stupid. I thanked her and drove to the school anyway. Sat where the cameras could see me. Engine running. Marcus' car didn't show. Friday morning, the detective called again. Sienna booked and released with a court date next month. After booking, the lab confirmed the partial prints from my gas cap matched Sienna. Probable fines, maybe probation. He said charges against Marcus were under review for possible conspiracy if they could tie him to the vandalism or threats. He asked if I wanted a protective order added on Marcus now that Sienna's was active. Yes, I said. Same terms. They served me at work. Protective order same as hers. Can't even come near you now. You happy? I didn't answer. Saturday, my mom called. She didn't ask how I was. She asked if it was true Marcus and Sienna had to be out by next week, that the school dropped the kids from the roster until tuition cleared. I told her I hadn't asked and didn't care. They're moving in with Sienna's sister, she said, like that meant anything to me. Sunday night, Marcus showed up one last time. Porch camera caught him pacing at the sidewalk, looking at the windows like he wasn't sure what he came to say. I stepped outside far enough the camera saw both of us. You win, he said finally. His voice was flat, like the fight leaked out of him. This wasn't about winning, I said. She's scared, Lucas. Court date, eviction, school calling about transfers. She says you wanted to ruin us. You ruined yourselves, I said. He shoved his hands in his hoodie pocket. We were family. You stopped acting like it the second you let your kid lay hands on mine. She told him to, he said quietly. She said, make you feel small. You stayed and let it happen, I said. He didn't deny it. You've got the order now, I said. Next time you show up here, I call the cops before you hit the porch. His jaw shifted, but he didn't move closer. He just said, kids don't understand any of this. They'll figure it out, I said. They'll know who burned the bridge. He turned without another word, walked back to the sidewalk, and kept going until the camera lost him in the dark. Tuesday, the detective emailed me the case summary for my records, restraining orders active, court date set, evidence logged, texts, videos, photos, voicemails, police reports, school statements. He said the DA was reviewing everything for potential stacking, including attempted custodial interference since the impersonation involved a minor's information. That same afternoon, the school confirmed Rowan's pickup restrictions would stay locked until I asked otherwise. Password system active. Cameras at the gate flagged on my phone whenever a car idled too long. By Friday, Darren texted me a photo of Marcus and Sienna loading boxes into a U-Haul at their old place. No wave, no call, no message, just leaving. Rowan and I ate takeout on the tailgate that night, motion lights clicking on and off behind us. She asked if we'd still see them at Grandma's for holidays. No, I said. Not for a long time. She didn't look surprised. Saturday morning, the detective called one last time. They'd added a violation of the protective order and attempted custodial interference to Sienna's charges based on the fake calls to the school and the pickup attempt after the order was served. Court would handle the rest. "Anything else you want to report?" he asked. "No," I said. "It's over now." The next week, I changed my number, switched to paperless billing on everything, password protected my mail forwarding, bank accounts, even the shop utilities. Clean break. One night, Rowan and I drove to the mountains. Phones off, music low, just the two of us. She asked if things would be quiet now. "Yeah," I said finally. She leaned her head on the window and didn't say anything else. I didn't either because there was nothing left to say. YouTube just dropped this new hype feature. If you're hooked on this story, smash that hype button. It tells YouTube, this video deserves to blow up.